Good eve, friends.
Look, I don't know how it happened, but it happened. Recently, and when I say recently, I mean quite a hot second ago, I did a video about meal prep that you guys actually, was a surprise to me, really fucking loved, and it really resonated with you. So I thought I would invite my best friend / replacement nonna / honorary actual genuine professional comedian of my life to come and show us how to cook some stuff, because one of the worst things about meal prepping is having to think of ideas of things to cook when you are not a cooking person who doesn't take joy in being someone who can cook.
I love cooking. I fucking love cooking.
So Nonna's here.
Big Nonna energy.
Which will hopefully inspire the rest of us to stop eating the same pasta every week.
True though.
So we're gonna make a couple of things. We're in my kitchen, which means we have nothing Sam wants to use.
You've never sharpened them.
Why would I?
Not even once. I've
Throw
sharpened.
it out, get a new one.
Let's not start on a negative note. So the reason you want really sharp knives all the time, you always want knives sharper than you think you should have, is that most accidents happen with a blunt knife. Because as soon as you try and force it through something, that's when you're going to slip and cut yourself.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello Mons people. I'm Sam Wade. I'm a stand-up comedian. I've been doing stand-up for 5 years.
I love that you
now.
looked at me then like I would know off the dome.
Do you want to argue maths with someone with autism right now? Professional comedian, been doing it for about 5 years. I've been cooking for, God, I think since I was 15, 20 years. Well, yeah, if you grow up in a small country town and you cannot sport, cooking's a great way to connect with people, because then all of a sudden you're manning the barbecue or you're bringing shit over to other people's houses. It's a great way to meet girls when you're 16. If that's what you're, you know what? I don't think that happens anymore with the internet. The two meals that we're going to cook, because after watching your video and going, oh, okay, this is a problem that I can help solve in terms of you've got your sensory icks.
Which is the main issue. Having you watch it was funny because I didn't think about the fact that people that I actually know would watch it, because my whole life I've just been the person that people make digs about that I eat like a child. Learning the psychology of food and anxiety, whew, that was a time. Becoming an adult and trying to make better choices for yourself while also not triggering those parts of your life kind of sucks. And it's this weird thing with your friends where you're like, I want you all to be aware of this in a sense, but at no point did I ever think to be like, hey,
it's these very specific things,
and it's not just me choosing to be a child. I'm broken. No, I'm not.
Being broken's fine. It's fucking underrated, I reckon. Made me who I am today.
Anyway, what are we making today?
So the two dishes we're going to make today, we're going to make a cottage pie, and we're also going to make a Texas style, very comfort, a Texas style comfort chili. We need about a cup for the
a cup, only a cup?
Yeah, I made sure that we had stuff to be able to drink. We'll only need about a cup of that to go into the cottage pie. You can use a dark beer for it if you want it to be a bit more on the Irish flavors side of things, if you want to make it a little bit more traditional. But I know that's not really your thing, and I know that you also like wine. We like Philip Shaw.
Did I feel uncomfortable spending this much money on a wine for cooking? Yes, but I knew we'd drink a lot of it, so
Thank you.
sugars.
Cheers. Yeah, no, that's a good one. So that's the thing, they say don't cook with anything you wouldn't drink. I reckon the first thing that we'll do is I'm going to show you how to enrich that stock. You can task bundle these meals really easily. The reason I picked both of them, A, they're really straightforward to do. You can pack a lot of nutrients in them. They both stew down so you don't end up with soft, squishy veg. You should end up with either liquefied veg or veg you'll be fine with.
We love
and
that.
Meat.
Because my ick is squishy. Squishy vegetables and squishy food, like peas was an option as an ingredient, and I fucked that off so fast because peas and I, full of hatred for peas. We have personal beef. Fluffy and squishy are different things in my brain. It's like mashed potato, that's fluffy.
And I'm going to show you how to do good stuff with your potatoes to make sure that they stay fluffy and never get squishy. First thing we'll do though, we're going to do a bunch of chopping, because then we can do some cooking down of stuff, and then it is very set and forget. So you can get away with just using bottled stock. You can make your own stock. If you don't have the 4 hours minimum to make that kind of stock, store-bought is fine, but there are ways that you can make it a little better. So the other reason that I've decided that I was like, I want to do something with stocks is I know that I'm going to be able to pump in a ton of nutrients to every meal that I'm making for you, so that you get the nutrients from eating a ton of vegetables. But the other thing we're going to do to enrich is we're going to take a garlic.
Hold on, the way you just chop that makes me so fucking uncomfortable. You just through the skin and everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
One, it's going straight into the stock.
With the skin?
Yeah, the skin's fine. There's tons of flavour in the skin.
That's a really weird sentence to say out of context.
Tasty skins. Now I've also brought some fresh rosemary. You can just bang that in. Because again, you've got a strainer on this, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to strain out all of the things
Crazy.
from what we had before. Just to even have a sniff of that where that is now, just about how much more flavour is going to be in.
Oh, there's garlic in that.
There's garlic in that. The other thing is that's really good to do with stocks is that you can always use scraps. You're not going to chop this whole onion, right? You're not going to use every part of it for actually eating in the meal. But that can go in with the skin.
Waste not, want not, bitch.
Absolutely.
My high school had the rumour that we had knives in our socks. I know how to use a knife.
Yeah.
Not for cooking, but I'm
going to chuck this one on the stove. All you want to do is you want to have that simmering for however long it takes us to chop up a bunch of other veg.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a real dumb question.
Sure.
For everyone at home. Not for me, I know, obviously. When one wants something to simmer, what does that look like?
So if a boil is bubbles, you want it just under that. You want soft bubbles. We boil things largely because we're trying to either bring everything up to a really high temperature or because we're trying to get water out. So one of the biggest things that you hate in food is water. That's why you hate squishy textures in vegetables, because the extra water that's in there and watery sauces, watery veg, that sort of thing, that's not been cooked through properly. You do have a big girthy knife though, I'll give you that. All right, we're gonna grab those onion scraps, they're going in the stock. All it's gonna do is make the stock a little bit
stockier.
I'm actually gonna cover this. I'm gonna just cover that because as soon as you've got a lid on it, that is gonna take a lot less time. Works better with a whole carrot.
That doesn't have any integrity.
Much like a real estate agent, no integrity.
Our real estate agent's lovely though, thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
Thanks heaps. You should all be killed. What? You've got editing power. We're not live.
I'm leaving it in.
I'd look down the barrel and just go, you know what? If you're a real estate agent, A, why are you watching niche videos about fucking music production? And two, see, this is also, just while we're back on cooking, this is really, really good for the cottage pie because you're gonna get this carrot texture down so that it's virtually identical to the mince. And we're just gonna chuck this extra bit of carrot in here. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Get your nose around that.
That smells like I want to drink it.
I feel sorry for your audio because I'm chewing a carrot. We're gonna just let that brown off. Lid can come off. That can get turned down because that is now gonna do the Lord's work of infusing that stock, becoming heaps flavorful. You know what you've fucking done? What we'll do is we're going to take these down smaller. Listen here, mate, I can't sing and dance. I'll stay off your turf, you stay off mine, all right? These scraps you can't do much with, but
why would you want to? Look at it, fucking weird ass little alien thing.
I'm not your mouth. So you see how this is browning? What we're going to do is try and do that to all of the mince because the browning is what is going to make it really, really crispy and delicious.
You're going to put a knife on it and smack the shit out of it?
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Oh my god.
I love a bit of garlic. That's a good noise. That noise means we're getting a real nice brown crust on it. Big fucking spoon. You want to let that cook off a little bit because that's going to caramelise the sugars in it, which means more flavour.
Ooh. Drunk off that sniff. That smells like it will put hair on my body.
Oh jeez!
Oh fuck! We're not straining.
We're not. That's not the. That.
You gotta give it a firm grip.
Hang on, let me do it in the sink.
Yeah.
Worcestershire sauce, it's not hard to pronounce, it's Worcestershire sauce. It's Worcestershire sauce. Bung a bunch of this in this, fuck me dead.
Worcestershire.
What I'm gonna do though, is we're gonna chop these up.
Do that in the sink like a heathen?
Yes,
Yeah,
because that way you can wash them as you go and you don't put a whole bunch of dirt on your chopping board.
But at the end of that, you have to pick up sloppy peels out of the wet sink. Well, if you're not a fucking psychopath, you could do it onto like a bag or something like I do, and then you just fold the bag up.
Would you like to peel these over a bag? Try a tiny bit, because...
It's a fucking huge bit. Oh my god, gimme.
That's good.
Just give me a spoon. I'm got.
It's a good stew. You can top it off with mashed potato. We can throw mashed potato on the top and bake it, or not. As it turns out, I think this has turned from meal prep into Mon just eating.
All the feeders out there, send me money.
This is the sauce for a cottage pie.
It sure is. It sure is.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna chop these up real small, and then we're gonna boil them. Pretty fucking good. So the onion's nice and translucent. Carrot's gonna be hopefully inoffensive to you.
Anyway, Chipkin, 175 degrees, fan force.
Yeah, so while the potatoes are boiling down to a mash, and then we're going to drain them, and then we're going to cook them on a dry heat, because that's going to get more water out. It's going to make them fluffier for you. We're going to chuck these and brown these off in the saucepan so that we can get going on the chili. What we're going to do with these is we're using the fact that these have a little bit more fat on them to cook them in their own fat, so that you don't have to add extra oil. Once it all cooks down and stews off, we're going to take them out as whole thighs, shred them so you can get rid of all the fucking fat there, but you're going to use some of the fats in the way that we cook it. What I'm going to do is a little cheeky hack. If you are lactose intolerant, don't feel like you need to use if you are lactose intolerant, the concept, use a little bit of oat milk. So we're gonna heat this up. Here's the thing, it's not about the size, because we're using this size dish, we're using 5-something potatoes, maybe 6 potatoes. Your mileage may vary, it's more about the ratio. Depending on how smooth you want it, you might want to use more milk. Depending if you're using really starchy potatoes, you might need more milk. Hot going into hot means it's not going to congeal up immediately, and it's going to incorporate a lot better.
Crazy.
All right, we're going to do the same thing that we did last time. Bit of tomato paste, you always want to cook off your tomato paste. This guy's going in the same time. A way to make your herbs taste better. If you toast them, if you toast them a little bit in oil, think of it this way: you're rehydrating them. They're dried. Now we've also got that tin of tomatoes, so we can bulk that out with this. It's going to make it a bit more tomato in flavour. If you want extra protein in it and you want it to set into something a bit crispy, you can beat an egg into it. I don't think you want that. You can also grate cheese on top. Wow, that's ideal.
Yeah.
That's irritatingly ideal.
Well,
Yeah, fuck, that is starting to smell exactly the way we want it. Best way to do it, to make sure that it's even, don't just dump the whole thing in, burn it out. What this does is it creates more surface area. But all of these bits, now that it has butter in it, are going to get crispy. I know we've used chicken thighs in this recipe, but it works incredibly well if you use beans. If you're a vegetarian or vegan, you can also sub it out for a vegetarian or vegan stock. Get the same results.
You don't say peppers though.
No, I don't. I'm not a moron. Bung it in the oven. You give that about 30 minutes, cutting the lemon and adding the acid off the heat. That's about it. For most sauces, what you want to do is you want to cook it down to the point where it's either coating the back of the spoon or you can drag something along the bottom of the pot and it's not immediately rushing back in. So you can see here how this is actually starting to cook down quite a bit. Still got some chunky bits in there, which again, if you want to get around for complete texture removal, blend it. We're going to smash the chilies and the tomatoes up against the side of the pot. And then what we can do is shred the chicken. Make sure you've got your rubber nip-nips out on your fingies before you touch the hot. Your oven is not universally hot. Get to know your oven if you are cooking with it. Usually one corner, mine's the back right, but normally one corner is hotter than the others. That's why it's important to have a look at how things are cooking and rotate them if necessary so that you get it to cook evenly, because otherwise that is going to be burnt on one corner and limp and white on the other. We don't want that, limp and white on the other. So I'm going to take that off. Again, use mince, use beans, use pork, use beef, use lamb, whatever you want to do.
Fuck, lemon is so lemon.
Lemon's the best.
The cut is lemon.
God, that smells good.
Lemon.
That little bit of acidity, what it's going to do is just open up all the flavours. That is crispy top cottage pie. It's going to be very hot. Just keep that in mind.
And I must put more in my mouth.
Yep. Mm.
Yeah.
These videos, this has been about meal prep, right? Will it last long enough to be meal prep?
Oh, P.S. I'm linking all of Sam's socials below. Go see a comedy show. Go do all of the things that he does. Stalk him. Ask him to dance on live.
Have a chat. I'm pretty open to life. I mean,
Cold.
you've watched me drink on camera and say some heinous shit about real estate agents. Again, fuck 'em.